Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back with the VDL week 4. This week we are facing off against Matt, who has a very scary team. If you guys haven't checked out any of my VDL content, make sure to do so you can see what happened, because I'm spoiling the last couple weeks. So, very tough loss to Stall last week. Honestly, like, I could blame hacks, and I definitely did in the video, and it was very unlucky for me. Maybe like 10% of what happened, like, should have, like, it was a 10% chance maybe for that stuff to happen, but I should have just prepped better. I should have brought like red card trap ghost. I shouldn't have clicked dark pulse when I said it's going to be weakness policy, even though I thought I could deal with it. I shouldn't have. I should have just prepped a little bit better and played definitely better in there. So this time we're gonna prep and play a lot better versus Matt here, but they have a scarier team. I think this team is way scarier into my squad. I think they have a great matchup because I don't have a fairy type on my team, if you guys haven't noticed, and they have a Tera Hydreigon, and Tera Dragon will just absolutely smoke me. So it's gonna be pretty tough for me in this game, but we'll see what happens for sure. Yeah, let's go over what they have on their squad. So first of all, they have an Iron Treads, which is a nice rapid spinner, pretty fast, can run booster versus me, and can very easily spam the ground type attacks, because I do only have 2 Pokemon that are immune. The Thunderous that doesn't want to switch in, especially if they are clicking rocks or Ice Spinner or stuff like that. And then Hawlucha, who might just Tera out of that, so it puts me in a worse position. They have Tera Hydreigon, like I said, which is just going to drop Draco Meteors on my team. It's going to hit that button, and it's like something on my team is going to die. I think very likely for them to be Choice Scarfed in this game, because I have like 5 Pokemon that are faster than it in general. So I think Choice Scarf makes a ton of sense. They could also be Choice Specs, but if they are, it's easier to revenge kill for me, and it also, like, I guess it ruins my defensive game plan into it, but it makes me feel a lot better about it. They also have Primarina, which is annoying for me to deal with, just because it can also be like Choice Specs and do a lot of damage into my team. I don't have great resist to the combination of Water and Fairy Stab, and like Choice Specs Moonblast can get a KO basically every time it comes in if I don't bring like a specially defensive Pecharunt or like very special defensive Articuno. So we're gonna have to deal with that for sure. But it also can just be like more of an Assault Vest pivot option, and, you know, deal with some of the stuff on my team, deal with my Terapagos, just like pivot out, break that Tera Shell, and get their Hydreigon in. So it can put me in a bad spot. They also have a Deoxys Speed, who can set up spikes, set up stealth rocks, which I think is very likely to come in this game as that sort of option. But then also probably will click knockoff versus my team, which is annoying for me, especially if I want to try to run boots, so I don't have to spin away hazards, or if I want to try to run my own Choice Scarfers to be able to outpace their Hydreigon. So it puts me in a tough position. I also have a Blaziken here, who's another scary Pokemon with Speed Boost plus like Sword Stance. It can go crazy versus my team because I don't have great resists outside of Pecharunt, which needs to be Shucka Berry to actually deal with it, because +2 Earthquake will just Oko me even if I'm max Fizdef, just because Blaziken's super strong, and, you know, +2 is +2. So that Pokemon can be very scary. It also spams fire type attacks into my team very freely if there's Gouging Fire is down or if Palafin's down, and those things don't really want to take it anyways. Potentially Gouging Fire, which has the same problem, that just gets dropped by an Earthquake, and then they're going to be faster, and they're just going to snowball versus my team. They also have a Sawsbuck. Don't think this Pokemon ever comes. Normally, like, it could have a solid speed tier, but not into my team with how fast my team is in general. They also have an Indeedee, who hits that same speed tier, but does provide them with a little bit of more support. I think Healing Wish in this game can be really nice for their Hydreigon. I think Psychic Terrain is also solid because it stops Jet Punch from Palafin. It also stops Ice Shard from Sneasel, who's like, both of those could be really good, especially into that late game Hydreigon. And they can just click Expanding Force versus my team, maybe set up Deoxys to click Expanding Force into my team. So I could see them bringing that Pokemon for sure. Thunderous is annoying because it has Prankster T-Waves and stuff. So if they bring Indeedee, they're probably not going to bring Thunderous, potentially. That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't think Thunderous is like super great into me because I do have my own Thunderous that can deal with it, but I do have to prep around it. I also have a Toxapex, who can't really set up T-Spikes when I have a Pecharunt that's very free in this game. They don't really do anything to my Pecharunt, not gonna lie, so I don't think they bring Toxapex. And then the last Pokemon is Drifblim, who can be scary for sure. The like Shadow Balls are pretty freely spammable into my team. I do have Terapagos, but if they, you know, bait that in, then they are annoying for my Terapagos, and they can break the Tera Shell. They can strength sap versus a lot of stuff on my team, so I could definitely see them bringing it. I think it's probably going to be top 5, and then one of like Indeedee, Thundurus, or Drifblim. Probably leaning towards Indeedee, but definitely could be any of the other two. I would be very surprised to not see, especially like the top 3 in Blaziken, I think, go absolutely stupid into this team. But I think I have what it takes to be able to beat them here. Let's go over what we are starting off with. First of all, it's going to be a Tera Electric Hawlucha. This Pokemon destroys their entire squad. We have just like max HP, max attack, so we're able to get our Unburden off because we have White Herb. So once I click Close Combat, then we always get use up that item, and then we're faster than their entire team, faster than so many Scarfers on their team. Only thing I'm not faster than is Scarf Deoxys Speed, which could definitely happen. I also think there's a very good likelihood that they bring Focus Sash Deoxys Speed. But we get a Swords Dance up, we get a Close Combat, and then we just destroy their team. Tera Blast obviously destroys the Toxapex, which is like the one thing that could really switch into me. Maybe the Primarina as well, and the Drifblim. Those things all just get destroyed, and then everything else would die to an Acrobatics, or in the case of the Iron Treads, they die to Close Combats. We also have Thundurus Therian with kind of the same idea that we're bringing the Electric plus the Fighting combo. Agility, Nasty Plot, Thunderbolts, and Focus Blast. It looks really good. It has a great speed tier versus their squad, making sure we're faster than stuff like Hydreigon, which is nice. And I think this guy should be able to eat one Terra Dragon boosted Dragon Pulse if they're not clicking Draco. Or if they are clicking Draco, then I live that at -2 after they've Dracoed something else on my team, so I can get a lot of damage off versus their team. Or I can just Agility, try to Nasty Plot through, and try to beat it that way. But the way that we're dealing with Hydreigon most is going to be this Articuno, who is basically max HP, max special defense, with a calm nature, with heavy-duty boots, just so we don't have to deal with hazards, because I'm not bringing Rapid Spin in this game. That's why we're bringing quad boots. And then we have Roost, U-Turn, Freeze Dry, Hurricane. Freeze Dry is very free into their entire team. They have a handful of resists. Just kidding, they have 2, and they have 1, never mind. They have Blaziken, who gets put down by a Hurricane. Obviously, I don't want to stay in on a Blaziken, but maybe I have to because they will Swords Dance and be very tough for me to deal with that way. And then we have, like, U-Turn is really nice just to be able to predict their switches. They want to go out to, like, Treads on a Freeze Dry or something like that. Then, cool, I can bring in, like, my Hawlucha and just set up and destroy them. So that's the idea of that. Should hopefully be able to deal with Hydreigon decently well with Roost plus all that special defense. But if they're like Choice Specs, Terra Dragon, Draco Meteor, I cannot take 2. So we're going to have to deal with that some other way. Next up is Gouging Fire, another heavy-duty boots Pokemon. Slurring my words here. But we have heavy-duty boots just to make sure we don't get destroyed by Spike Stacking Deoxys, which I think is very likely in the game. Dragon Dance, if we're able to get that up, does look really strong. We need to get 2 Dragon Dances to make sure we're faster than Choice Scarf Hydreigon, but that shouldn't be an issue versus a lot of Pokemon on their team. Even stuff like Primarina doesn't really threaten me a crazy ton, especially because we do have some HP investment and Morning Sun, so I should be able to get some setup opportunities on their Pokemon. And then Earthquake plus Flare Blitz, if I'm able to get to that +2, just sweep their entire team. Now, is it likely that this happens? No, but it definitely could. Definitely could. I see like Indeedee, potentially Toxapex, Deoxys Speed, all being like setup opportunities for this Pokemon. Then we have Terapagos, who is just like our catch-all at the end. Basically, like if they set up that Blaziken, I am gonna have to bring in this Terapagos. I always live the Close Combat because it's Terra Shell, and I can do a ton of damage back to it with Terra Starstorm or Earth Power. Especially because they'll click Close Combat and they'll be -1, or they're gonna click Flare Blitz and they're gonna take all that damage. We also have Calm Mind, just because that can be a solid win con for us in this game. We can Calm Mind through something like a Primarina, or if they bring something like a, not very invested a Drifblim or Indeedee, we can Calm Mind on those Pokemon and kind of take them out. We have Dark Pulse just to cover for that Drifblim, but it also does good damage into Indeedee and the Deoxys Speed. And Terra Starstorm plus Earth Power really just creams through their entire team. So we could use this as a breaker if we need it to, but probably going to have to be that catch-all for us in this game. And then last but certainly not least is going to be Petrunt. This is our designated Iron Treads check, which seems weird, but I have a weakness policy set here with max special attack modest, which means after an Earthquake, if they're no HP investment, I should be able to OHKO them with a Shadow Ball. which is really fun. I can also nasty plot myself up, and we can recover. Like, the Iron Shreds is not gonna be able to do quite as much unless they're very, very offensive. And if they're very offensive, then okay, we're just gonna Oko you back with a Shadow Ball or bring you down to very, very low so you're not able to deal with the rest of the Pokemon on my team. So we're at least going to be able to deal with the Iron Shreds in one way or another. Obviously, it's a little bit tough because I'm not going to have that Pokemon in the back for like a Blaziken that can go through my team. But being able to take care of Iron Shreds does bode very well for the rest of my team because that Pokemon's very annoying for me. So that is the squad going into this week. Hopefully we're going to be able to lock in and take a win here because I cannot afford another loss. But I know Matt's a really great battler and just like a GOAT in general. Did so well when he played Little Cup in my league and is doing well in here. So yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, please be sure to leave a like and sub. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. What is good, everyone? Here connected against Matt. They have a Tera Dragon Hydreigon versus my Tera Electric Hawlucha. Now, Hawlucha absolutely destroys this team, completely demolishes everything they have because no Drifblim is really nice, no Pex, no Thundurus, no Sawsbuck as well. Definitely have to worry about Blaziken. Dio Speed is a potential lead that I could see because my team hates hazards, so I could definitely see that. Hydreigon is also just a massive threat like I talked about. So I'm either leading with Articuno or Thundurus, I think. I mean, even Gouging Fire is not terrible as a lead, but if we see the Hydreigon, then that's pretty tough. I even could lead Terapagos, is not terrible, but Terapagos at least gives me like an option, an escape option into the Hydreigon. So we'll go with Articuno starting off here. If they are like Specs Draco, I think I can take two. Choice specs. Let me just calc this. Two Dracos. I do not actually take two Dracos, unfortunately, from specs. We get the nice lead into them at least, which is good. I can always at least take one, even if they're choice specs, and get a nice like 50-60% off here. They don't have a great switch into this Pokemon unless they want to go Blaziken, which gets blown up by a Hurricane anyways. So I just freeze dry every time. Super worth it here for me. I need to get this Pokemon weakened because it's such a nasty threat into my team. Did not actually expect them to go with Tera Dragon, but it does make sense. But, you know, they can try to go something like Prim here, and DD maybe. They don't deal with Articuno super well. They really don't. I'm glad that I led off with this. As they click U-turn, so potentially choice Scarf variant, it's kind of leaning towards. It doesn't have to be. It also definitely could be specs based on that, but we keep our Articuno healthy for now. And what do you actually go out to, though? Because, like, I guess it could be Blaziken to try to get chip damage on this Pokemon, but Hurricane blows you up. I guess Flare Blitz blows me up, too, so. You go HR Rep, you go Indeedee. Indeedee, Horns Up mode. I don't know exactly what that means. They don't take too much. They're Indeedee male. Yeah. This is the more offensive one, I think. They look decently specially defensive, maybe. I don't know. It look like you're like defensive though. You're max HP at least. And I do not switch in well to this Pokemon. Clicking Expanding Force, except for this guy takes it decently well. So I can freeze dry, I can Hurricane if I want. Like, even if you're max like specially offensive, Modest, it doesn't do like a crazy amount. What should I do? Should I just freeze dry here? We can see the speed stuff. Yeah, I'll just freeze dry again. They are faster than me. And they actually do like no sort of damage to me. That's great. Bring them down just to 50-ish%. So probably no special attack, probably just like max speed timid. With yeah, max speed timid with max HP. would make sense looking at this spread-ish. They're going to Expanding Force again. Yeah, they do like 120-ish, which is no Spatak Invest. I do live 2 of those from here with Articuno, so Freeze Dry is free. I also do like the Hurricane play because it does guarantee the 2-hit KO here. So I'll go for Hurricane on this turn. I guess Freeze Dry into U-turn also would have been fine versus them, since I know they're not Fizz Def. But this can also catch Blaziken if they want to switch out on this turn, which is not a bad option. I could definitely see that happening. They do withdraw. Show me Blaziken and hit this attack. Oh, it's Treads. Okay. It's Treads, and they are Quark Drive, Booster Energy. Okay. Booster Defense. And we miss, which is really bad. Booster Defense is a little bit interesting, though. Right? That is definitely interesting. Yeah. Okay. What do I do about this Pokemon? What are my options? I don't have great options. I think Pecharunt is not bad because I'm Weakness Policy, so I can Shadow Ball through them. Pecharunt, yeah, I mean, if they activate my policy at +2, I have a 50-50 to Oko this guy. So I don't hate that. We also, I mean, we might see Steel Beam, something like that come out, which could be annoying. I'll make the Pecharunt pivot. I think we're going to see some sort of Steel move. No way they're going for Earthquake. They just Iron Defense, which is fine. And I will just click Shadow Ball. Super duper free here, I think. If you want to Earth Power me, there's a decent shot that we live to. And if you're max HP, you can definitely live, which is where that Hurricane chip would have actually been really nice for me. But it's okay. I'm assuming this guy's going to be physical, though, with just Body Press. You do Earthquake me. Doesn't even do 50. So let's see if we get the Oko here. That would be beautiful. Come on. Give me this Oko. Weakness Policy Modest. We do not get it, so they have some investment. I always live this hit here coming out, though. I can recover if I want. They never 2-hit KO me, it doesn't look like. They did like 182, something like that. Looks like it was honestly a high roll. I'm gonna recover once. They do Earthquake, so I should have just taken them out, as they do not KO me, but they bring me down very, very low. Yeah, we're just gonna Shadow Ball, be aggressive versus this guy. Yep, we end up living. So that's beautiful. We still have a Pecharunt, but not a very healthy one, which is fine. We take out the Iron Treads, which was a huge threat to the team. Absolutely huge threat. Especially with Booster Defense and Iron Defense boosted. Glad I brought Weakness Policy. As they go into this guy, this annoying guy, I just Malignant every time. I sack off my Pecharunt. I don't switch in, so no need. If they U-turn, I might live, even. I don't even know if I would. Hydreigon. Oh, that is Hydrapple. Hydreigon U-turn. I do live, actually. So they can't go for U-turn. They have to click some sort of attack, and that lets me go out to Articuno. They are going to Tera Dragon. Is it just Dragon Pulse? Is it Dark Pulse? I'm assuming we see Choice here. Not like I would outspeed them anyways. They are just going to lock themselves into Dragon Pulse. So So I very freely go out into Articuno and I throw off a Hurricane. Very freely go out to this Articuno. We never get 2-hit KO'd from here. Even if they're specs, I don't think we get 2-hit KO'd. We probably get 2-hit KO'd if they're specs, but this Hurricane does enough damage that it puts me in a good position, no matter what. I mean, maybe I do just Freeze Dry, get my damage off on this guy since they can 2-hit KO me. We'll Freeze Dry. They do withdraw, so I over-predicted there a little bit. Or I guess under-predicted. But this is fine, because it's just the Indeedee that comes in that I beat 1v1. So Freeze Dry, maybe we get a big freeze? No, but they're going to be Citrus. A little bit annoying, for sure. Definitely a little annoying. I could U-turn here. I'll still be above 50%. I get the U-turn out into something like Thundurus. I can try to set up Agility and be annoying for their team. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. We'll U-turn. They will just click Expanding Force. Dang, they get a pretty high roll on that one, I think. But yeah, HR rep is very low. I guess I could also go out to Gouging. Gouging Fire here. They're going to outrun me, but I can Dragon Dance on this guy. I could Dragon Dance, which could be really fun. They might be Encore. That doesn't matter, actually. If I get one Dragon Dance up, am I faster than Hydreigon? I don't think so. So they just come in with their guy afterwards. Whereas I could just go Thundurus and Agility up. Thundurus always eats this Expanding Force. And I'm always just faster anyways. So I could throw off an attack. I think Agility makes a lot more sense, so they can't just go out to the stupid Hydreigon for free. Maybe they'll try to save this thing. I don't think it makes too much sense for them to save it. Although I really hope that they try to. That would be nice for me. Go Hydreigon here for some reason. Let me get a free hit off. How much am I doing to this Tera Dragon guy? Focus Blast does 50% at least. And brings it into Freeze Dry range, which would be nice. Do we die to Dragon Pulse? We don't die to Dragon Pulse, actually. Which is nice. They do withdraw, so we're going to get the free Agility up. They go out to Roxbury. This is fine, because I'm going to get my damage. I am going to Focus Blast. Wish I had Sludge Wave for this scenario specifically. But yeah, I just Focus Blast every time. And we got to hit this. We do hit. Beautiful. That does just under 50%. They're going to drop a Draco. But, I mean, they're obviously choiced. We end up going down. I mean, this could be a Hawlucha situation. They're -2. Honestly, I really could go Lucha. Because, I mean, they have Dio speed still. Maybe Scarf Dio as well. Which makes it nasty for me. Yeah, if they're Scarf Dio, it puts me in a nastier spot. I could go Articuno. Click Freeze Dry, get a KO. Be in, like, not a great position. How much does Gouging Fire take right now? It doesn't actually ever die if I don't kill him back. I think Articuno should take this. Yeah, we'll just go Articuno, and I'll Roost. I think the Dio is going to be Scarfed, or I guess potentially Sash in the back. We'll just roost up. There's just no way that they stay in here. They're going Indeedee, which maybe I should have U-turned here, but this works. I think this is better than U-turning. They also could just stay in and try to attack me for no reason. Even if they're choice specs here, I always live. Yeah, they withdraw. They just withdraw. Ooh, they go to something different. The Prim. Okay. Prim Arena. If they're Assault Vest, they don't take very much here. But I don't think they are, based on how it's gone so far. They don't do a crazy amount to me as well, so I'm just going to freeze dry them. If you're going to Calm Mind, I'm just going to freeze you. But also, if you're just going to Calm Mind, then I'm going to attack you with Hawlucha. With my Tera Electric Hawlucha. And we're going to do a lot here. We do a lot. They are Calm Mind, which is okay. Because I don't think you really beat me. You're potentially like max HP. And you are leftovers. I still think I can beat you by just freeze drying right through this guy. Because at some point I'm gonna freeze you. And like your Moonblast at this point isn't even doing 50%. They Calm Mind up again. Yeah, I mean, you 2-hit KO me now with Moonblast. You're also very close to getting 2-hit KO'd by Freeze Dry here. I have a Gouging Fire that can come in, be annoying. Really should have been the Haban Berry on Gouging. As we get a nice big crit. Love to see it. It was going to happen. They were playing with fire. Like, it was going to be a crit. It was going to be a freeze sometime. So we take out Prim for free, which is amazing for me. You stay basically at full HP. And force them to bring in something else. Blaziken has a decent shot of coming in right here, I think. If they go Blaziken, what do I do? What do I do? Because they could SD here on my swap. And then it puts me in a bad spot. Let me think. +2 Earthquake from Blaziken versus my Gouging Fire. Blaziken. +2, honestly, +2 Close Combat just destroys my Gouging Fire. I think I Hurricane and I have to play for an end game. I'm gonna Hurricane. I don't think you're Flare Blitzing. Boom! Boom! Just hit. If we miss here, I probably will just lose. Why do we miss all the damn moves? I'm getting so unlucky every single freaking week, man. I got Terapagos that can still do something, but oh man, I completely won the mind games and just getting hacked out every time we play. Anytime I play in anything. Gouging Fire is gonna get O-code. It wasn't good anyways. Gonna go Blaziken. Or gonna go Terapagos. They're -1, so they always die to an Earth Power. They should die to Terra Starstorm as well. Life Orb, Close Combat never knocks me out. With Terra Shell. That's so frustrating. You can't even imagine how frustrating it is to lose on that. Because both of the other weeks I've lost in here, I've gotten so unlucky. It's whatever. Lucha's gonna win it for me. Maybe. Lucha's gonna try his dang best to win it for me. I don't see a world where I get like the free setup though. I have to like double out on I have to double out on Indeedee, I think, to be able to do that. You're -2, so you definitely like super die here. Oh man, why did we have to miss that? They would have just straight up died, and I would have been in such a good spot because they can't break me. They would be forced to bring in Dio Speed. I could break the Sash or just like kill it. Roxbury is low-ish. I just tear Starstorm here always. I think the play that I have to make is going out to my Articuno. I have to double into Hawlucha, because this thing is just going to Dragon Pulse me if they do anything else they're throwing. I still can do this. It just got incredibly harder because we lost my Terapagos, and this Terapagos was going to be able to win the game. It was going to be able to beat this Hydreigon because it was in range of Tera Starstorm always. So you go Articuno. They're going to sack the Indeedee on this turn, so I need to switch out because I need to be able to get my move off. I don't even think my Hawlucha is not even faster than Indeedee, unfortunately. With Tera Electric, we always live. Did they stay in? If they stayed in, then... Oh, they stayed in. Why did you stay in, man? Doesn't matter. I will close combat here just to try to get my thing up. They're scarfed for sure. We got hacked out of this game. I still technically think that I have a chance because Articuno is really strong. But, man, I think they're probably going to be Meteor Beam in the back, maybe. If they're, well, if they're Scarf or Sash, which I think they were, they can't be. They're just going to Dragon Pulse me here. Man. Yeah, we're going to take a decent bit of chip there. But if they go Indeedee, I'm just going to spam Roost. We do take out the Hydreigon at least. Maybe I was in a position where I could have won with Lucha, but it made no sense for them to stay in there. Because all they had to do was prevent my Lucha from getting faster, and Dio Speed always beat that Pokemon. So they go out to HR Rep. I just spam Roost, try to get rid of the Psychic Surge, and try to get as healthy as possible. Because I guess they could be like Baton Pass and punish that. It's not like crazy punish. Dio Speed, I mean, may not even be able to beat me, right? They are decently bulky though, unfortunately. Gonna Roost up once here. I'd never get to it KO'd by Expanding Force here. So maybe I just Freeze Dry and then I Roost versus the other guy. But in Psychic Terrain, I want the Psychic Terrain gone, is the thing. I'll Roost again. They're Encore? I still might be fine here. I may be able to be fine. It just depends on what they have on their Dio Speed. If they were like Rock Slide or something, then it's just been over. But they didn't go out to it, so. We're just gonna Roost until we can't Roost anymore. Nothing I can do. can't believe we missed my stupid Hurricane. No more Encore. I'll throw off the Freeze Dry. They Encore me again. Okay. Fine. Maybe I might have to hit 2 Hurricanes versus Dio Speed to take them out in 2 hits. Nice thing is the terrain's gone, but they should switch out to Dio here. And then go back into Needy, I think. No, they go for Dazzling Gleam. That's going to do 0. I don't think that was the play. I don't think that was the play at all. Encore's gone. They might try to Encore me again, which would be best case scenario. But I'm just out of roosts. Nah, they just Gleam. So Dio Speed, they can't Psycho Boost through me. I mean, maybe I just click Freeze Dry. I think I just click Freeze Dry once. Freeze Dry into Hurricane might be able to take them out. Big might. 2 Hurricanes definitely takes them out, but I don't feel confident about that. So I'm going to Freeze Dry. I'm just going to miss a Hurricane if I go for it. What are you? Your Flash Cannon? Oh, we eat. No Spadef drop. No Spadef drop. We did 25, 30, 35, a little bit more than 35. We can't knock out with Hurricane here. I Freeze Dry one more. They Flash Cannon again. We live another one. We don't get Spadef dropped. Come on. Come on, Articuno. Hold. Hold. Psycho Boost has 0 rolls that knock me out from here. They Dark Pulse. They're going to flinch me. Don't flinch me. We get the Freeze Dry. So we take a 1-0 win. Should have been a lot more than that. Because I played it well and I got hacked out. But it happens. I obviously got the crit on the Prim. Don't think that mattered very much because I just roost off any sort of damage they do. And they die in 2 more hits anyways. So Prim was never a threat. They weren't even 2 at KOing me really. So yeah. Good game to Matt. We're going to move to 2-2 at least. But that game gave me a damn heart attack, man. I hope you guys do enjoy. If you have, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.